How's it going, folks? Jeremy Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel for another weekend MMO news drop. This is going to be a massive one with so many games posting updates over the last few days, so grab a snack or a drink, and let's begin with The Elder Scrolls Online. ZeniMax has revealed that next year will have another year-long story, adventure, and chapter. Plus, there will be an announcement event for it taking place on January 16th, 2020 at the HyperX Esports Arena in Las Vegas that players can register for. This year's Season of the Dragon has been very well received by both players and critics alike, and it's no surprise to see ESO continuing this formula of having 3 DLCs and a chapter in a year be tied thematically and narratively, as it adds a lot more cohesiveness to the adventure for players and world building of the game. ESO will be at the Game Awards this month too, which airs on December 12th, to share the final cinematic trailers to close out 2019's Season of the Dragon. As for next year's 3 DLCs and chapter, let the speculation begin as to where we are going next in the Elder Scrolls lore. In between WoW Classic and waiting for Retail's 8.3 to drop, if you're a pet battle enthusiast, good news for you, I guess, because World of Warcraft has revealed that a brand new pet battle dungeon, the Blackrock Depths, will be launching in 8.3. The new pet dungeon will require pet masters to have completed all 4 previous pet battle dungeon quests at normal or challenge difficulty, before being able to accept a new quest from 𝑮𝒂𝒍𝒍𝒆𝒕𝒉𝒓𝒊𝒍 in Dazar Allure. Beating the Blackrock Depths in normal or challenge mode can be done with any pets from any family and will reward players with new toys, account-bound currency, pet supplies, and of course, new pets too. Guild Wars 2 has dropped its latest balanced patch earlier in the week, and alongside it, making its debut after 7 years, are capes. Guild Wars 2 finally has a functional in-game cloak/cape that right now costs 500 gems from the gem store and can be worn in the backpack slot. It's also dyeable, which raises more questions like, will we see more designs in the future from the store? Will we see them dropping in-game? Will they be available in future episode vendors that sell Ascendant accessories, and so on? I've seen players say this is nice to have, but not really necessary, and would have preferred it if existing backpack items would be dyeable as well. Otherwise, for me at least, I like my cape. I wear them in almost all the MMOs I play that have them, and I like to see more ways to obtain these in-game besides just from the gem store. As for the balance patch itself, some interesting additions have gone live, like dynamic HUDs that allows you to customize your UI while in or out of combat, the usual class tweaks, and even a sneaky nerf to fall damage traits. Check out the links down below. Elsewhere, Final Fantasy XIV has a couple of image teasers posted on Square Enix's presser website, but there isn't much context to these images besides the titles, so we should hear more about them in the coming days and weeks. First up is a brand new mount titled Patch 5.15 New Mount, and it's a mecha style mount, so if you're one of those gotta collect them all types, hold on for a bit longer, I'm sure you'll get your hands on it. And the next 2 are images about Blue Mage updates in Patch 5.15 as well, and we get to see the updated Blue Mage log. As a reminder, the next Producer's Letter livestream is happening on December 14th, so don't miss it if you want to learn more about Patch 5.2, including a special section with sound director Masayoshi Soken. For Black Desert Online players, the Succession skill update has begun rolling out this week, with both Warriors and Ranger classes now having access to Succession skills. Warriors and Rangers can now experience a new way to develop these classes as an alternative to awakening skills by acquiring warrior spirits and feathers of Lemuria, which will allow them to learn succession skills for their respective classes. Classes that have chosen succession can enhance their main weapons, giving players powerful new skills using the longsword and shield for warriors and the longbow for rangers. These skills can be unlocked at level 56 by completing a series of Black Spirit quests. This may vary from regional versions, but there's currently an in-game event running until December 17th, where players can transfer 50% of the EXP they earn during this period to another class through the character transport system. There's also bonus rewards such as combat EXP scrolls, gold bars, and vaults for players who hit level 50 and up during the event. We have some new details about Crimson Desert as well, the upcoming MMORPG by Pearl Abyss, and WCCFtech.com got to sit down with lead producer Jason Jung to talk about what kind of MMO Crimson Desert will be. To summarize this interview for you guys, Crimson Desert will address many of the criticisms directed at Black Desert over the last few years. The game will mainly focus on PvE content and cinematic storytelling, which is a rarity for Pearl Abyss, with branching storylines and quests that can be done solo or co-op with other players. That said, PvP is still available in forms that video players will be familiar with, as Jung says that PvPvE is very much on the table as he considers player trade, interaction, and warfare for commodities like castles and resources will add more ways for players to experience the Crimson Desert world. The game engine has been rebuilt from the ground up, and Crimson Desert will feature ray tracing support. Final bit of details here are that the game will have crossplay support, and it might appear on Google Stadia in the future. Now here's something of a tease for those of you patiently waiting for Lost Ark's Western release. Last weekend, Smilegate, the studio behind Lost Ark, closed a few job recruitment posts, including for an overseas service planner and other English-speaking positions that, according to sources, have direct relations to either running an English server for Lost Ark or something close to that. This could just be a tiny hint that we may see Lost Ark become available to Western players sooner rather than later. Another job posting scouted was for a console client developer, which again could hint at a planned console version down the road. If you can't wait, there's always the Russian open beta, which is ongoing right now, so jump in. Up next, let's talk about ArcheAge Unchained and Gamigo for a bit. Right now, Unchained is steadying the ship ever since its launch, with maintenance and fixes to several issues cropping up, and Gamigo has released its third quarter financial report for 2019, and it's good news. The company had a solid quarter with $16 million in net revenue, a majority of that coming from North America and Europe, and that's largely thanks to pre-sales of ArcheAge Unchained and the acquisition of Shrine Worlds and their catalog of games. The report goes on to state that the forecast for quarter 4 looks promising as well, and I hope that means better and continued content for all the MMOs under Gamigo, including Rift, which has been shackled and hidden for far too long now, so hopefully we'll see a revival soon if Gamigo continues to do well. In other ArcheAge Unchained news, this Thursday's maintenance has brought back the ArcPass system for EU servers, while there was a delay for North America at time of recording this. Gamigo has revamped the ArcPass, and the new version has 12 missions per week to complete with up to 6 daily rerolls. The Korean version of ArcheAge has some good news too, as XL Games has revealed a massive content update coming pretty soon, featuring a new region, a new main storyline, new scenario modes, scouting dailies, more skill points, skill reworks, and structure upgrades. We also have an MMORPG anniversary happening this month, and it's for Star Wars: The Old Republic. The game will be turning 8 years old on December 20th, and the anniversary event will run from the 17th until January 7th, during which a special vendor will pop up around the fleet with all kinds of new things to get on top of the previous anniversary goodies. You can also purchase the Coruscant and Droman Ka strongholds for 8 credits each, which is pretty cheap. Throughout the month, there's a host of other events returning as well, like Life Day, the new Bounty Contract Week, and much more, so check out the link below for full details on the other events. Happy 8 years in advance, SWTOR! Moving on, more Blade and Soul updates this week with regard to the Korean version. Let's start with the Unreal Engine 4 update. Part 1 of the Unreal Engine 4 rollout will take place next week on December 11th, and this contains the graphics overhaul, addition of new NPCs, a new dungeon, and world regions as well. Part 2 doesn't have a release date or details just yet on what the Bells features might be. As for the new dungeon, it has a very Chinese theme to it, and we do have a sneak peek of the boss based on Sun Wukong, the Chinese Monkey King myth, which takes me back to my childhood days of watching Journey to the West. NCSoft Korea has also mentioned this week that the mount system is still very much on track and will happen once the Unreal Engine 4 updates are complete. So that means for Western players, a little more patience and it'll be here before you know it. The Avalonian invasion is in full swing on Albion Online, and while guilds are wrecking chaos across the land to reign supreme, the monthly challenge for December, known as the Yuletide Challenge, has returned. If you're burned out over the constant PvP and want a Snow Husky mount, start earning points via all your usual open world activities and grab all the Yuletide rewards. Additionally, for this month only, weekly chests will drop Avalonian energy, which can be used to craft powerful new items at the Energy Manipulator. Upcoming sandbox MMORPG Fractured is currently undergoing its Alpha 2 Test 1, which I've been a part of, and you can check out my impressions video in the card in the top right or the link down below. And now, Dynamite Studios are opening up the test to the public this weekend. For 3 days beginning December 6th, players can take part in the Open Alpha 2 weekend test for free until Monday, December 9th by simply creating a Fractured account, downloading the game, and jumping right in. For existing alpha testers and game backers, the second test duration has also been extended until December 16th, so get your Fractured experience before it goes away. In the MMO loot shooter space, Destiny 2 has some big news about the next season. Season of Dawn was revealed this week and is expected to arrive on December 10th with an all-new story and new activities. With the Vex invasion now defeated, Osiris calls upon you to face a new threat and stop a council of Cabal Scion Flayers from manipulating time and undoing our victory against the Red Legion. As usual, expect new exotic weapons, armor sets, a new seasonal relic, and 6-player content in the form of the Sundial. What I love about Bungie is that they already have the full roadmap detailing when and what content will be dropping on what day, which is really handy. In Division 2, players can expect Title Update 6.1 to drop on 10th of December as well, alongside the game's first winter holiday event, dubbed Situation Snowball. The in-game event gives all players a free Santa hat, and there's a chance for a rare weapon to drop from elusive enemies roaming Washington, D.C. that shoots snowballs, for something new if you're bored of your current exotics. Additional features include the new hardcore mode in which death is permanent, making any new replays of Division 2 on a new agent a challenging and rewarding experience should you make it to the endgame. On to the mobile MMO section now. Let's start things off with Nexon's V4 or Victory 4. The company has stated its wish to bring this newly launched mobile MMORPG for smartphones to the PC in South Korea as early as this month. Korean gaming sites already have PC version teasers, and more details from Nexon regarding game access and release dates will be coming very soon. No word on a global PC launch just yet, and the mobile version isn't even launched in the West yet, so it will take some time before we hear anything about it coming to other regions. Let's just hope the PC version isn't just a lazy mobile port. And last but not least, Dragon Raja, a popular mobile MMORPG here in the East, has announced that an English version will be coming very soon, as will the pre-registration for global players. Dragon Raja is a hybrid fantasy sci-fi MMO that takes place in a futuristic cyberpunk setting that's also really vibrant. The game has 4 classes, action combat, PvE content from the main story of stopping ancient dragons from reawakening and wrecking humanity as the future knows it, to having dungeons and social activities too, some more unorthodox than others, such as being able to play basketball with your friends or feed your need for speed with racing futuristic cars. And that's all I've got for now, folks. Hope you guys and girls had fun, and if there's news for a game that you played which is not covered here, hey, do share it with us down in the comments section below. Hit the like button if you want more news drops, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and get notified on all my latest videos by clicking that bell icon. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you for watching.